Hey guys, I'm the Crazy Dane, and today I wanted to do a review of a weapon rather left out to hide in the shadows of the M416 and the M16A3 counterparts. I'm of course talking about the RO933 Cabine. This weapon is the starter weapon for the operator class, as all of you should know by now, but people tend to go straight for the M416 or the M16A3 as soon as possible, because, well, they're just overpowered compared to any of the other operator weapons available at the moment. So I decided I'd make some love to this rifle and try to play around with it instead of just leaving it to collect dust in the closet. This rifle is actually rather good compared to some of the other class's weapons, even though it takes some time getting used to, and you really need some specific attachments to do well with this rifle. The RO933 has got a 850 rounds per minute and a max damage of 20, which isn't really that high, and it drops off to around 12 damage at 50 meters, which could be better. The damage is just too low compared to all of the other carbines and assault rifles in the game. The recoil comes in at 0.32 vertical pull, 0.1 left pull and 0.3 right pull. So the recoil isn't all that bad, but the first shot recoil is at 2.8, and it's quite difficult to deal with at first because you haven't really got a angle grip, so before you obtain the angle grip you're gonna struggle a bit. And oh yeah, and at all times aim down sight. The Hipfire Accuracy with the RO933 is worse than, well, a kick to the balls. I had the most success when I kept engaging at medium range, around the 30 to 40 meters, because the damage output is, well, too bad. And you can't really do well in close quarters competing with the higher damage per second weapons designed for close quarters, and even, well, most of the other operator weapons as well. I had to be careful not to get full of myself and not get too close to the enemies, and at the same time not too far away from them. I ran the RO933 with the angle grip to compensate for the high first shot recoil, enabling better control at tap fire and burst fire. The comp M4S red dot sight, because it's the red dot sight I like the most, but you can use whatever you wish in this slot, well, of course. The muzzle is still a bit back and forth depending on the area I'm trying to assault. If I'm trying to assault a rather close quarter part of a map, I'd go with the silencer to make full use of the stealth factor, allowing me to live longer and do better overall. For medium and long range I kept switching between the heavy barrel because of the easier overall recoil management and the lower bullet deviation when not moving, and then over to the flash hider because in most maps if you stay still you'll die. And the heavy barrel isn't a great attachment if you're moving while shooting because of added moving bullet spread. The recoil of the RO933 isn't so hard to use, so it's not the greatest disadvantage to use the flash hider over the heavy barrel, but again it really depends on your playstyle. If you're the strafing type I'd recommend going with the flash hider, but if you're the opposite kind of player I'd recommend to use the heavy barrel. I'm still going back and forth between these two attachments because I really haven't decided yet what to use, because there's a lot of positive points to the heavy barrel, but if you stand still in a one-on-one firefight between someone else, you're just at a disadvantage, well, by default. So I ended up strafing a lot. But if you're gonna try to master this weapon, start out with the heavy barrel. Once you've mastered that, you can go with the flash hider for greater diversity, if you please, of course, but overall, the heavy barrel is better. I've got to warn you though, this weapon has been left out for a reason. It's got a low damage model and is even at a disadvantage compared to the other operator weapons when it comes to recoil and damage up close, and well, at range. I think the RO933 is overall a fun weapon to use. It's quite hard to master, but I really dislike whenever there's one or two weapons blatantly overpowered compared to the rest in the same class or category, so I often end up using the underdog, in this case the RO933 weapon. And I've gotta say, man is it satisfying getting a kill streak with the RO933, because it's hard to use and you really have to struggle compared to if you use the M416 or the K10, it's quite easy to go on a kill streak and kill people. So any of the other underdog weapons in general, I just get this weird satisfying feeling when I get a kill streak with them. Sometimes I just enjoy running around with the M45 because I can't imagine how people would feel getting killed by what is more or less one of the worst weapons in the game. So this just brings some sort of weird satisfaction to me. But as said earlier, I'd really like to see this weapon, the RO933, buffed a bit with the damage model. Give it a maximum damage of 24 or 25, just to make it on par with the rest of the weapons. I don't know if 24 max damage is too much, but 20 damage is simply not enough. My conclusion of this weapon is, well, it's a fun rifle, but it only starts to be fun when you've got the angle grip and a heavy barrel unlocked for it. So even then you have to fight hard to be able to compete with, well, everyone else, as they are probably using the better weapons overall, and I mean, why wouldn't you? I just like the underdog weapons, so the RO933 is a rather mediocre weapon. The recoil pattern and RPM is great, but the damage model and hipfire accuracy is really bad. So if you have some spare vouchers for angle grip and heavy barrel, I recommend saving them for the RO933. If you have got everything unlocked for all of the other weapons, then go with it. Try this weapon out and try to master it. So if you're looking for a change and, well, a challenge and some fresh air from the otherwise top dog weapons, I'd say try the RO933 out and max it and master it. The upside is that by getting good at a mediocre weapon, you'll become even greater with the better weapons available, so when you change back from a hard to use weapon, you're gonna do way better. That's all for this time, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you use this weapon and you think it should get a small damage buff as well as I think it should, and what your overall opinion is of the RO933 Cabine. I know it's nothing compared to the MPX, the K10, the battle rifles, the M416 and the M16A3, but it's somewhat fun and rewarding to get kills with this rifle. Do let me know if there's any other weapon you'd like me to review. I would happily take a look on them even if they are shit. So yeah, that was it, guys. Don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content on my channel. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.